Hi Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your August 19th, 2024 Supermoon Full Moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, so thank you so much. And if you're interested in a private reading, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. It's listed in the description box below, and I look forward to reading for you. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right, Taurus, let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. So we're crowned with the Knight of Wands. We then have the Empress, the Six of Wands reversed, which is very interesting. That seems to be a recurring theme during this moon and this time. Then we have the Ace of Wands. We have the Wheel of Fortune reversed. We have the World reversed. The Five of Pentacles reversed. We have the Devil, angels, and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. The Knight of Cups, angels, and spirit guides, show me clearly. Oh, goodness. Okay. The Three of Swords reversed. Judgment. The Ten of Swords reversed. And the Six of Pentacles reversed. So let me make sure everything is in frame. Perfect. Okay, I'll just move these things down so that you can see better. All right. So it's very interesting here is that astrologically speaking, we have Capricorn energy coming up. So the Devil is representative of Capricorn energy, time frame of December 21st to January 19th. So that's very interesting that's coming up. It's around the release of pain from the Devil, from, a very harsh influence in our lives, but also a sense of control and coercion. So that's going to be very interesting. And it's going to be a sense like, I would say for a lot of you Taurians, you loved this person. Like this person was a person of love for you. They could have been a Capricorn, or they could have had a lot of Capricorn energy in their chart, but also they seem to embody the chaos of the Devil. So being aware of that here is going to be a very important thing. It's kind of like, oh, that person was, we almost think of them as like a demon in our lives if we want to be dramatic about it all. So just being aware of that and the heartbreak that we are releasing to be reborn. So this is just such a beautiful moon for us. And I'm really just so pleased and honored to be able to bring you this message. So let's see what Spirit has to say. And if you're interested in entering to receive a free reading, please okay, you have to do three things. You have to like, you have to comment with the butterfly, so I know that you would like to receive a reading, and you have to subscribe. So if you like, comment with the butterfly, and subscribe, you will be in the running to receive a free reading, to win a free reading, and that person will be chosen on Sunday. So good luck to everyone. Hit the bell notification button so you can be notified when that reading comes up. Well, when that, announcement comes up. Now here we have context reversed, meaning that we're not seeing the context of certain things. We're going to be looking at certain people, certain situations, and kind of judging them outside of context, but we can also feel judged ourselves outside of the context of what we've been through. So being very aware of that is going to be super important. It then moves us to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Here we have listening. This is the throat chakra, and it's one of my absolutely favorite chakra cards. Listening comes forward. And here, with listening coming forward, it is saying to us, listen. Listen to our bodies, listen to ourselves, listen to the world around you. That becomes your superpower. If we could listen, if we could really take in the world, while everybody is so busy trying to talk over each other, we will change our world so profoundly. So really embracing your superpower of listening, Taurus, is going to be just absolutely amazing. It moves us then to our energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is the Three of Cups. This is emotional manipulation. Now, this could be by water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. Okay? But this is also going to be somebody who is very good at playing the victim, very good at manipulating things. You would think that they were too old for these games. You'd be like, well, you know what? Now we've gotten to the age where we can just give it to the world straight. And it's like, no, this person is still always going to be manipulative. So just being aware of that. And they're also going to take things that are really important to you or that you love and try to shame you around them or use that against you. So being aware of that is going to be important here, just so that when that energy comes, and it can feel like it hits us like a brick, like, oh my gosh, where did this come from? And it can really, like, it can settle in our bones almost. It's like the sense of like, wow, that was a blow I wasn't expecting. And it makes us ache. It makes us feel overwhelmed. If we can look at it and say, oh, you know what? Spirit told me. Spirit told me to beware of emotional manipulation. That was the tactic that was going to be used, or they were going to try and use to unsettle me, to keep me off my path of greatness. Now, what's very interesting about this full moon is that, first of all, it is a supermoon, and a supermoon is always more. It's always more. It always brings more to the table than just a full moon. It is emotionally very powerful. This full moon, the supermoon, is in Aquarius, and it is a revolutionary moon. So we have 3 T-squares during this moon, and a T-square is one of the most powerful astrological configurations that we can have. And the first one we have is So the first one we have here is T squared with Uranus. So the moon is T squared with Uranus. And Uranus rules Aquarius. This full moon is in Aquarius. And it's going to bring incredibly strong energy. It's going to bring an incredibly strong moon. Like, we're going to be seeing ourselves. Things are going to be illuminated in a certain way. That's going to be very interesting here. The person who is trying to manipulate the situation is going to try and use what is coming forward to us, like the freedom, the prosperity, the bounty that we're getting in our lives against us. So do be mindful about that. Uranus is all about authenticity, and Aquarius is all about authenticity because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and also about the unexpected. Like, we're going to try and plan for this time. The only plan you can make during a Aquarius full moon and during this T-square with Uranus, the moon's T-square with Uranus, is that there are no plans. Like, there are no plans. It's just going to take on a life of its own. So being aware of that is going to be important here. And we see that in the sense of the Knight of Wands, like the fire taking over, the way that we're moving forward, the Empress, the ability to create the fire, the passion that we have. We're taking the gift of the Ace of Wands, and it's like, yeah, I can do this. Yeah, I got this. You know, the Ace of Wands, or the aces, are a gift from God, source, spirit, however you see the divine, the universe. And it is us stepping into our power, stepping into ourselves, saying, yeah, I got this. Yes, I can do this. Now, it's interesting is that our world is changing for us, and we're overwhelmed by the change that is around us. And a lot of time with good reason. It's not a slow, steady, harmonious change. It's going to be a very powerful one. We're forgetting to celebrate ourselves. And as we're forgetting to celebrate ourselves, we're not seeing everything that we've been through that has forced us and shaped us, and that would make other people crumble to their knees. Now it is time for us to move forward. The world being reversed, it's not about the outside world. It is about our inside world. And during this time, it is going to be about the inside world of lack that we have lived in for a really long time, a doubt that we have had around ourselves, a sense that I can't do this because we're going to need to do inner child work, most definitely. But there's a sense here around relationships, and I just need to highlight this. Now, if you're saying, Dane, this doesn't resonate with me, then it's not needing to be highlighted for you. You can always look at your moon and your rising sign. If you have a lot of one sign in your chart, that can also be calling to you. But for somebody very specific here, Taurus, there is a person who, when you were in love, my gosh, you were in love. but that person manipulated it. It broke, and it broke in the most heartbreaking way. And you couldn't be good enough. You have that very, I want to say Earth Mother energy, but you all know how I feel about Earth Mother. We always tend to think, oh, that's just so giving, so giving, so giving until you can't give anymore. Very giving tree vibes, which is creepy. But what we're going to see here is that the Earth Mother energy is giving, but also ferocious and fierce and powerful. And so you have that energy to you. It doesn't matter how you identify in your life. It matters that that is your energy. That is your power. That is yourself. You're coming out of a time of depression, like financial depression, it could be emotional depression around, not being good enough, and also around chaos that couldn't be controlled. It was almost like a train was coming, right? And it just kept on coming. The train kept on coming, and you had to withstand one blow after another, and you did. Why? Because you're a Taurus, and that's what you do. But also because you're incredibly strong. You're incredibly powerful. You're fierce and loyal and tenacious in a way that most people do not understand. Or most people think, oh, like chivalry is dead. Never with a Taurus. So here, just being aware of that during this time. And what we're going to see here is that we have Saturn in transit during this moon. Now, Saturn is linked to karma, okay? Which I think is just absolutely fascinating. If you want to dive deeper into this, I highly recommend Pam Gregory's, video on the full moon. So check her out if you want to. She's a fantastic astrologer. But here, with the devil coming forward, our karmic energy is coming forward. And it's like, okay, how have you lived in your authenticity? How have you lived in your morality? And how have you lived in your integrity? Because that's going to come forward during this time. And we're going to sit there and, be like, well, why is that coming up? That was gone and done with for things that hadn't gone right, or we hadn't handled ourselves in the most, most kind way. But also, no, this is not a moon to berate ourselves and, flashlight ourselves and say, oh, I'm not good enough. No, that's not this moon at all. This moon is going to be showing us our karmic path and is going to be telling us to take an unconventional path. Not everybody is meant to fit into a cookie cutter mold. A lot of people aren't. Most of us here, if you found this channel, if you're part of this family, you're not meant to fit into that mold. So being aware of that and being, empowered by that is going to be really important. Our heart has been broken, but we have the Knight of Cups here, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, that is moving forward. We're moving forward in what we love. We're moving forward in what we desire. We're holding up what is sacred to us. Now, we also have here, during this moon, we have Saturn and Jupiter in T-square, okay? And again, that's one of the most powerful configurations. Saturn is all about tradition. Jupiter is all about, kind of new innovation. So we're going to have the old and the new coming together, a sense of coming out of the box, stepping out of the traditions that we thought we were supposed to stay in. But we're also going to see here with the Ten of Swords that it's difficult for us to embrace a rebirth, because we can also see part of our tradition can be part of the pain that we have been through. And that's just who we are. And Spirit is saying here, why do we always need to define ourselves by heartbreaking moments or, overwhelming moments? What if we started as a collective, as a human race, defining ourselves by the most wonderful of memories, the most beautiful of moments? That would be something. Because remember, we can look at things and say, I am the oldest I have ever been, right? And that's overwhelming and sad and not nice. I don't like it. Or we can say, I am the youngest I will ever be. And that is so uplifting to us. It's the way of perception moving us forward. And here, we're not seeing ourselves as a hero of our story. And yet Spirit is saying we are. We have the Empress coming forward. We have this sense of, I am the hero. I am the Knight of Wands. I have the Ace of Wands. I am so great. And it's not pompous. It's not ego. It is saying, I am great in the life that I am living. We also have Ceres, T-squared, the North Lunar Ceres, and the lunar nodes, T-squared. So what this means is that we are going to see a very bright light being shined on issues that we need to look at. We also have ourselves in Mercury retrograde. So things that usually wouldn't be said would be swept under the rug. Now that's coming forward during this time. We're saying things. We're standing up for ourselves. We're finding our voice in a way that we think, with the chaos of Mercury retrograde, how is this even possible? And there is a real sense here of like, it's possible because I'm not hiding anymore. it's possible because it brings forward a frustration and a fierceness that usually I would just overlook. So being aware of that is important. We have the repeat of the number 6, and what's very interesting here is that our 6s are reversed. 6 is the most nurturing of all the numbers. So we have to remember to nurture and care for ourselves. Things are out of balance. And as we see things are out of balance, we need to say, what do I need in balance for me? Because up until the 2nd of September, we are going to feel a huge amount of stress. Once the 2nd of September comes, Uranus goes stationary, things calm down. We have Pluto re-entering into Capricorn, top-down structures, a formula that we're very aware of, very, connected to, until it will, on the 19th, it will move into Aquarius, into the age of Aquarius. There we go. That's exactly it. So everybody watch, what is it? What movie has the age of Aquarius in it? I don't remember. It just completely flew out of my head. But everybody watch that. Everybody connect with a sense of, I'm moving forward in what I love and what is most sacred. And I'm finding harmony in the chaos. This is also Taurus releasing a lot of the vampiric energy, a lot of the, addictive, harmful, hateful, hurtful energy that has been around us. And we're going to become aware of it. It's like, wow, why can't I raise my energy vibration? Well, if I'm watching true crime, I'm guilty of this. I always call myself out here because Spirit's like, stop watching true crime. It's terrible for you. And I'm like, but how? How could they do that? What's going to happen? What does justice look like? It doesn't matter. You don't need that type of horror in your consciousness. I mean, you just don't. I used to study, genocides and Holocaust and all those really fun things. And once they're in your mind, once you know it, you can't unknow it, and you will never understand it unless you are, I don't think it's ever meant to be understood, unless you are a horrible person. And we're like, oh yeah, that's reasonable. And nobody's like that. So here, just knowing this, just knowing that, we have the 10s reversed. We are fighting a transformation. Why? Because we're afraid of the chaos it will bring. Because we had our hearts broken. We opened up our world, and then our world shattered in on us. And it was like, what the actual heck? I'm not doing this again. And yet, one of our callings in life, Taurus, is to create and cultivate. We are going to see here that with, Saturn, that with Saturn in transit, our karmic energy is coming forward. And that is going to be wild for us. It really is. It's going to lead us forward in a way we hadn't expected. So let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Okay. So we have here action and self-reflection. What we are going to think as we're looking at things, and things aren't quite moving the way that we want to. We have the devil energy come forward, right? We feel chained and overwhelmed, and we're looking at chaos. And we're going to think, okay, how can I better improve myself? That's why the number 6 is reversed, right? Because it's not going to be a loving and caring approach to us. It's going to be, okay, how can I whip me into shape as quickly as possible? And Spirit's like, no, calm it down. Calm it down and center yourself. The action is taking action in reflection on your life and saying, how do I move my body and my soul in order to best express what I want in my existence? The reflection is also Spirit looking and the moon looking at our karmic self. And the moon being a mirror that is shown, right? When it's full, I always think of it as, a mirror that is really, really polished. So it's reflecting the light of the sun so brilliantly. And it brings us to reflect on ourselves. Now, this full moon is also a conglomeration of the intentions we set 6 months ago. So look back at the calendar. Just scroll through your phone and be like, okay, there. Or, turn the pages on a calendar and say, okay, where was I 6 months ago? What was that like? Look in your head where you were then. And now look where you stand now. There's a power to you. Now, we're going to think nothing will come of this. Well, okay, Uranus is at play. And Uranus, just like the void of course, which happens numerous times during a lunar cycle, all right? And it means that things go pear-shaped. Like things just don't work out the way that we had planned. So you can always, highlight avoid, of course, have it notified in your phone if you want to. I have friends who do this. I don't bother because it's such a short period of time, and life can't be planned for. But things will not go according to plan. So with avoid, of course, at that time, things will not go according to plan. So it is best, not to take any big phone calls, do any big meetings during that time. So just being aware of that. But there's a level of the unexpected to this moon. Balance the spiritual and the practical, because we need to for ourselves. It cannot be all practical. It cannot be all spiritual. We need to live in the waking world. Though a part of me is like, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have it be all spiritual all the time? But that would just be sitting in like endless meditation. And, life is meant to be enjoyed. It's a richness. It's a decadence meant to be enjoyed. So here, balancing the spiritual and the practical is going to be important. A new romantic cycle is coming. I mean, seriously, we saw this in the cards, right? We're like, no, thank you. Even if we're saying, oh, I really want to meet somebody, we're like, no, thank you. But here, where the new romantic cycle is begun and it's reversed, it's like, how am I out of balance with what I am in love with? Or have I forgotten what I love in life? It brings us then to don't let pride get in your way. And that is going to be very important here, Taurus. Do not let pride get in your way. Let yourself shine without like, oh, I want everybody else to see me. It's like, no, I'm just going to shine for me. I'm just going to do the things that I love. And I'm going to embrace that. I'm going to go to work, and work might not be what we love doing, but I'm going to love, the paycheck that I get. I'm going to love, how I feel being able to uphold my responsibilities. And that's a big thing. So often we sit there and we say, oh no, it has to be, the fancy car and the fancy house and the fancy this and the fancy that, and everything has to be so opulent. And that doesn't need to be. We can live quiet, good lives and be perfectly proud of ourselves. It moves us then to our subconscious spirit message, which is reaction. Watch the way that you react, okay, during this moon. We can have very quick reactions, but we are also going to have very strong reactions to things, okay? Be mindful of our temper always. And look at our reaction. Look at the emotions that are evoked when we see certain things, when certain things are happening. So just be aware of that. It moves us then to our chakra energy, which is life purpose. Again, you have such a strong and beautiful throat chakra coming forward, life purpose and listening. And so here with life purpose, it is embracing your purpose. It is embracing your talents. It is knowing that by listening to the world around you, but also listening to yourself and saying the words that you need to hear, you're opening doors in a way that you didn't imagine you could. It brings us then, oh goodness, I don't know if you heard that. Sorry, I hit the singing bowl. It brings us then to the energy reverse, which is Freyalt, which is Sagittarius energy. Now we do have, Saturn and Jupiter in T-square. And so that Jupiter energy, the Jupiter energy of the unexpected, that Jupiter energy of innovation, it might be hard for us. Okay, we can want things to be a little bit more traditional. And as earth sign energies, we tend to like things to be a little bit more grounded. We like the history behind things. Even if it's not per se traditional, we like substance to things. So just being aware of that. The abstract isn't as appealing as the substantial. It moves us then to our subconscious tarot message, which is the 8 of Cups reversed. It is time to walk away from something that subconsciously we're not ready for. So being aware of that and seeing that for ourselves is going to be very important. And knowing that, okay, I'm holding on to something and realizing that it might not be time for me to let it go. But when it is time for me to let it go, when I feel okay with that, the release is going to be beautiful. And it's like, it's well-deserved. It moves us then to our subconscious Luna message, which says here, it's time to release negativity and to set boundaries for ourselves. And as we set those boundaries, releasing the negativity will become more natural, will become more powerful. All right, Taurus. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of a positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. And please note that this meditation and healing will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony. Taurus, may blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. And have a blessed moon. Bye.